Well, good afternoon and welcome to 25 plus 5. My name is Paul Reed, publisher of the Journal of Business, and I'm absolutely thrilled that more than 360 of you registered for this event and have chosen to spend some time with us celebrating a piece of the economy that is so very important. This afternoon, we are here to celebrate the entrepreneurial spirit. Our co-host Tom Simpson will tell us a little bit more about the 25 plus 5 program here in just a moment, but I wanted to say just two quick things before. First, when it comes to conversations about economic development, we often forget about one of the major components. We talk about outbound marketing a lot. We talk about making sure that the businesses that are here are thriving. What we forget to talk about is creating an environment for and nurturing startups. You need look no further than over to Seattle, where those giant employers we're always envious of are there, and they came about homegrown, not recruited. There is a huge ROI for us if we help businesses launch and grow here. Second, we don't need to be envious. Our region has tremendously active startup ecosystem here, and we often don't pay enough attention to it. There are some really cool companies. You saw their logos on the slide before we started this event, and we'll put them on at the end. These folks have raised substantial funds. They're developing amazing projects. We have mentors here. We have funders here who are lifting them up. We should be very, very proud of what we have accomplished so far, and we need to move that further. And that, my friends, is why we're here today. So let's get to it. In just a moment, I'm going to hand this off to Tom Simpson, who you may know has been so active in the system here as a serial entrepreneur, a mentor, and now leading Ignite Northwest. But first, here's a quick video to get a great celebration. Let's take a look.
Thank you, Paul. I'm delighted to be partnering with the Journal of Business on the 25 plus 5. As a little background, the idea for the 25 plus 5 came to me in 2019 when 3 companies in our region each raised over $10 million in new capital within a 3-month period. Those companies were Risklens, Hypersciences, and Apana. After these financings were announced, I asked several business leaders in the Spokane region if they could name the 3 companies. Very few could even name one. It then struck me that before we can market the Spokane region to entrepreneurs, startups, and tech companies outside of our region, we first needed to establish awareness within our region for our leading emerging companies. So we came up with the idea to create and publish a list of the top 25 entrepreneurial success stories in the region. For clarity, we define the region as Spokane to Sandpoint, from Spokane to Sandpoint, Sandpoint to Coeur d'Alene, and Coeur d'Alene to Sandpoint, and all cities in between. Admittedly, I was a bit skeptical we would be able to identify 25. To my surprise, however, we discovered over 30. Because 25 sounds sexier than 30, we decided to name the list 25 plus 5 and feature the top 25 plus 5 to watch. The criteria to be included on the list are headquartered in our region or having a major presence here, having been in business less than 12 years, and having less than $100 million in revenues. This is the second annual 25 plus 5. This year, Ignite teamed with the Journal of Business, procured the list in conjunction with nominations from individuals throughout the region, and turned the 25 plus 5 into a formal event and award ceremony. Today, we have a content-rich, full 1-hour program, including a keynote from Tyler Lafferty, 3 awards, including the most radical product or service, an award for the company most likely to achieve over 100 million in revenues in 5 years, an award for the coolest company culture. Each award will be followed by a brief, informative, and an entertaining video created by Tribe Media. And we'll sprinkle in a couple of trivia questions about the entrepreneurial activity in our region. Although we are awarding 3 companies, we are honoring all of the 25+5. Securing a position on the list signifies your success, opportunity, creativity, and tenacity. It is possible we overlooked a few companies for which we asked for forgiveness, as the process is not perfect, and we will consider those companies for next year. This year, we have a handful of new companies, including FatBeam, Gravwell, Garage Skins, Retail Data Trust, Square Keg, and Quantum Star. Before I turn the program over to Tyler Lafferty, I'd like to give a special thank you to Cindy Donahue, Ignite's Marketing Director, and to the entire team at the Journal of Business for their effort in putting this together. With this background, I'd like to introduce Tyler Lafferty, serial entrepreneur, mentor, author, and really most important, all-around great guy. Tyler?
Hey, Tom, that is kind. Thank you so much for that. I absolutely appreciate it. Hey, I just want to say thanks again. It's so fun that we're here together and to celebrate these amazing companies. This is just amazing for our region. And I remember probably 2 or 3 years ago, I was sitting around a table. It was Wayne Williams, Tom Simpson, Sky Henderson, Richard Denny, myself, and talking about, like, dreaming about how do we really support entrepreneurship in the region. And it was Wayne's idea that Wayne really wanted to get into the Spokane arena. He wanted to throw a huge party. He wanted to get a big rock band to play and just really hype up the good things that are happening in our region. And I really, truly hope that we're moving in that direction, where we will in fact get a chance to do that and make that happen soon. But I think we'll get there. We absolutely get there. But it was so fun to hear the enthusiasm, the excitement, and just the need that we all wanted to really celebrate all the good stuff going on in our region. And really, we're not only celebrating these companies themselves, but we're really celebrating what they stand for, their ideals. It's that chance to create something out of nothing. And what we're truly celebrating, and Paul mentioned this in the beginning, is the entrepreneurial spirit. And I think that's absolutely beautiful. So I probably know quite a few of you. I'm lucky enough to know a lot of the people that are participating, that are here. But for those of you who don't know me, I've been around for about 25 years on the business scene. I'm a born and raised Spokane guy. I only went away for a bit to go to college at University of Washington. But since the last 17 years, I've been starting companies, and 7.2 and 14.4 and strategy labs, and we're digital marketing agencies, and we're lucky enough to have clients like AT&T and Amazon and Nickelodeon and Mountain Dew and Disney and things like that. So super fun, and get to do some really amazing things. And then have some goofy side hustles, like a couple of gyms called the Union, Method Juice Cafe, a couple of those. So just living into our passions. I have a passion for helping education bring more professionals into the classroom. So I started a software platform called Access to Experience, which is kind of a match.com for making that happen. And that's been doing some fun things here in the region. And then the question mark on the slide here is, we're actually even incubating a SaaS company right now within our own family of companies, trying to make the most out of this, pandemic and this quarantining time, and being innovative ourselves. And so we've got some software development that's been happening. So excited to bring that into the local ecosystem as well. So that's going to be very, very fun. So that's me. So what's been absolutely amazing over the last 10, 12 years in our region is the growing momentum in entrepreneurship and the growing excitement behind this. I think about the Spokane Angel Alliance and all the good work that they've been doing. I think about back in the days of Launchpad, if those of you who remember Bill Clevis and Alan Battle and the work they were doing back then to really bring entrepreneurs together. I think about the Bowl and Pitcher and the events that we had, bringing entrepreneurs and mentors together and the fun stuff. The growth that we saw with Startup Spokane and all the great things that had happened from that. And then Startup Weekend, and a big shout out to Pete and the work at SPICEOLOgy and all the amazing things that are going on there that came out from, I remember that initial thing from the Startup Weekend. So this has been so absolutely fantastic to see this excitement in our region. It's been so much fun. I think about the more services that we've actually built that have been happening as well. I think about the old Ignite that we had and the work that they were doing, and that's funneled into the new Ignite and all the great thing that's being led by Tom and all the work that he's doing, and Cindy, and just amazing to see that. I think about the Coeur d'Alene region, and I think about the Innovation Collective and all the work that Nick's doing over there, and just the happiest of happy people, and the community that they built, and the companies that are being spawned over there is just absolutely fantastic. I think about the work at GU, I think at Eastern and Whitworth and the community college, and them leaning into entrepreneurship and really starting to get these kids to think twice about the amazing things that can happen when you kind of foster that entrepreneurial spirit. And it's even happening within the high schools. And it's such a beautiful thing to see them growing their entrepreneurial classes, and we're growing more of that, which is absolutely fantastic. So this is so beautiful to see the support in our region and these culmination of these companies here doing this great work. I also think, and Tom mentioned a little bit this, about the investment, the more investment that we've seen, you know, in everything the Angel Alliance has done, the Kickstart funds, the Technology Growth Fund, the more outside VC interest that we've had. And I would say that, at least that I've seen, you know, in the last 3 years, that's really grown. You know, companies like Madrona and Arnold and Voyager and Cascade Seed Fund and many others that are taking interest in what's going on in our region and getting excited about the cool companies happening here and saying, wow, we need to put some investment there. There's good things happening. I was talking with Tom, and he had told me that in the last 12 years, he's tracked 55 companies that have been funded, from 61 million of those from members of the Angel Alliance, 210 million of that coming from other investors, and still 37 active companies of those, and seeing 8 exits and thousands upon thousands of jobs created. And it's only growing. So that's been absolutely beautiful and amazing to see. But now what? We need to keep this flywheel effect, right? We need to keep moving and moving and growing. So what's the big question is why? Why? What's the value of this, and why are we doing this? Well, we're reminded that startups provide hope and vitality within our economy. New growth is a law of nature, and it's truly the accelerant on the American dream, and we need to foster that. Startups provide innovation within our economy. The first question of any entrepreneur is, how could I do this differently? I think of Continuous Composites or Rohini or MedCurity and Cloud Engage, and really all of these companies doing things differently. And that's necessary for growth for our regional economy, but also America as a whole. Innovation is absolutely key. We see people try their hand in a startup, whether it's a founder or one of some of their employees, and maybe it doesn't work out. And oftentimes we'll see them go back into some of our established companies, and they bring new perspectives and a new vitality. Startups often invigorate in some new ways of doing business within our older established companies. And that is a beautiful, beautiful thing that we see happening. We see the fruits of this work and the wealth and investment back into the local economy. We see it into our nonprofit organizations and benefiting the greater good in our region. And not just the big winners who've had big exits and are coming back, and we hope to see them writing big checks. It's not just that. It's also the entrepreneurs who are day in and day out doing good work and then giving back into the nonprofits and the growth within their region. Startups spawn other startups. Maybe a company is tackling one problem but missing another. And oftentimes we see employees see this and then branch out on their own and starting another company. So the multiplier effect keeps this flywheel going. Not only do they spawn other startups from other founders, but we see entrepreneurs getting back into the mix and starting other companies. I think of Greg Green and Fatbeam. I think of Steve Tabachek and Risklens. I think of Dan Rourke and Gestalt, Chris Blissner and Vega. I think of Lisa Schaefer and Paw Print Genetics. That is good investment. Entrepreneurs set examples for future generations. We inspire to be like the mavens before us. And oftentimes they turn around and pour back into the up and comers. That is absolutely key. So what is that investment in our region. And what does it do? I probably don't need to tell you, but let's get into it. It certainly brings more jobs. And hopefully those jobs bring higher paying wages. And when we have those higher paying wages, we have more disposable income, and we get to spend that on things like pizza. I believe that really why we're doing any of this is to have better pizza places. I want the best pizza possible. And when we have great companies doing great things, bringing great employees in, and they have disposable income to spend, that's what we see on restaurants, on bars, on stores, and artists. They can thrive with those environments when we support that. It enlivens our community and it bolsters our culture. What really is just cyclical by why employees and companies want to be here in the first place or come and join our region. And they see that. So fostering this effort is so good for the economy. But here is the challenge ahead for all of us. And I challenge all of us with this. We have some room to grow. I see some room to grow in propping up our female founders. We need to see higher proportions of female founders on this list. Right now, there are 3 on the list out of the 30 that we're talking about, which is great. S2 Media, Paw Print Genetics, and Collabora. And that really is fantastic. But how cool if we had our own Whitney Wolfe Hurd. I'm sure you've been seeing her. She's the CEO of Bumble, co-founder of Bumble, and just went and had their IPO. In the last 12 months, there's been 3 female founders who've had IPOs. I think we could do better and grow that. And that also goes for people of color. I think we need to pour in and help these founders and these people of color that are doing this as well. And if we do that, what we truly do is we build diversity in our entrepreneurial ecosystem, and that is necessary. So I challenge us all to look at doing that. We also need more mentorship. No more riding off into the sunset or Palm Springs. I tell that jokingly because who doesn't want to go do that? But we need our mentors to look and say, hey, how can I be of value? Where can I be used? I want to be there. And then what I think about every time as this comes is I think about Tom Simpson and Josh Neblett and the e-tail story. And Tom saying, hey, Josh, I like what you're doing. I think you have something here. I'm going to put my arm around you and we're going to go build something together and do something great. And look what that's done for our region. Now we have Caspian, a publicly traded company doing amazing stuff here. So I think it's absolutely beautiful. And above all, we need to celebrate and share these wins. We need to be a resounding gong for why the other East Side, our region, is a great place to start and grow a company. Well, maybe not too loud because I do like my easy and short commute, so we want to be careful with that. If we lean into these things and continue the momentum and keep the flywheel going and invest in our region, not only will we have strong startups, but we'll also have a healthy economy that benefits everyone. Thank you. Now, I am pleased to announce Ryan Jensen, the principal at Witherspoon Kelly, who will reveal the winner of the Most Radical Product or Service Award.
Hey, thank you, Tyler. Good afternoon, everybody. Privileged to take part in this program. As Tyler mentioned, I'm an attorney at Witherspoon Kelly. We are a full-service law firm, and we have the privilege of helping entrepreneurs build businesses with their innovative ideas. I want to thank Tom and Cindy and everybody at Ignite, as well as Paul Reed and the Journal of Business for all that you do to support startups in our region. We see a lot of different concepts, and I've noticed that the most forward-thinking ideas are born from seeing an unrecognized problem and offering a unique solution. Radical innovations alter business models and change industries. It takes grit, collaboration, creativity, and a stomach for taking risks. All those lead to a successful business with a radical product or service. So without further ado, the emerging company team that exemplifies these traits and the winner of the Ignite 25+5 award for the most radical product or service is Coeur d'Alene-based continuous composites. The concept created by Ken Tyler and the company founded and formed with Tyler Alvarado and John Swallow provides a fundamental change for composite manufacturing. Continuous composites, if you don't know, combines 3D printing with continuous fiber to transform creation of carbon fiber parts, which are used in everything from aerospace to construction to sporting goods. Continuous composites has created a radical process that shifts the manufacturing standard by making 3D printing affordable, efficient, scalable, and tailored to virtually any application. So again, congratulations to the Continuous Composites team for this award.
Let's go.
Continuous composites technology is in the 3D printing space where we bring this high strength, low weight material. We eliminate all of the labor and waste, which drastically reduces the cost to manufacture a carbon fiber part, as well as significantly reduces lead times. Our patented technology, continuous fiber 3D printing, starts with a spool of continuous carbon fiber. We wet it out with a UV curable resin, and our 6-axis robot will move and discharge that material where we cure it right after it exits the print head, allowing the part to take shape right off of the printer. And this can be used for applications like aerospace parts. They can be used for Formula One parts, bikes, skateboards, surfboards, wherever you want to manufacture a lightweight, high strength component, that's where this technology can be utilized. We've intentionally chosen to keep continuous composites in Coeur d'Alene and grow it here because of all the outdoor activity, the access to capital, and the ability to acquire and retain talent, as well as giving them a great lifestyle where they can earn a good, high-paying job and raise families in a beautiful area.
Hey, thank you so much, Ryan, and Tom Simpson and Tyler, and everybody there that's made this Ignite 25+5 possible. We're very honored to win this award. We're pretty excited about the technology that we're developing out here in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. This company takes me all across the world, and I often get, why Coeur d'Alene? And my response is, why not? We have everything we need. Nothing that we don't. It's an amazing place to live. We get to create these high-paying jobs like the video said, and I'll ultimately mentor and give back to the community. That's what drives us, and this technology is going to change the world. So we're super excited to be here. Appreciate the recognition, and looking forward to seeing where this company takes us. So thank you again for the support.
Congratulations to the entire Continuous Composites team. I'm Cindy Donahue, Marketing Director for Ignite Northwest. I want to introduce Richard. He is the president of Lee and Hayes, as well as the chair of Ignite's board of directors. And Richard is here to introduce the award for the company most likely to hit $100 million in revenue within 5 years. Take it away, Richard.
Thank you, Cindy. I appreciate the opportunity. As Cindy mentioned, I'm the Chief Executive and Chief Financial Officer of Lee and Hayes. Lee and Hayes is a 160-person IP-centric law firm headquartered here in Spokane, but with 7 offices across the country. Really thrilled to be a part of the entrepreneurial ecosystem and seeing all the amazing work that's going on here, and really spearheaded by Tom and Cindy and everyone at Ignite. Before I go into this, I do want to give a quick shout out to one additional female co-founder, Heather Schulten at SPICEOLOGY, someone that's near and dear to my heart in doing that one. And thank you, Chip, for highlighting Heather's efforts on this one as well. So moving to the award, to turn a startup into a rocket ship that could hit 100 million in revenue within 5 years, you have to have a proprietary and compelling product in a business you're passionate about, in a market that is expanding, and hire and motivate the most talented team. You must have it all. And to grow that fast, you have to really understand how to scale. The local company that is most likely to achieve that impressive milestone, and the winner of the Ignite 25+5 most likely to break 100 million in revenue within 5 years award, is SPICEOLOGY. Spiceology is one of Spokane's great stories. Tyler mentioned it in his keynote speech, but the company sprang out of an idea. Pete Taylor, a great friend and one of the region's really, truly fantastic entrepreneurs, presented at the very first startup weekend. I'll never forget Pete's energy and passion as he put together the business plan that won that first startup weekend. From there, Pete and Heather, as co-founders, built Spiceology with the support of a largely local investor base. Truly incredible support from the local investors. Today, Spiceology is led by Chip Overstreet, another of our region's great entrepreneurs. Chip and his team are tenacious, creative, and have found not only the ability to scale, but to completely and successfully transform their business model in the face of adversity. Together, the Spiceology team is quickly becoming the next great iconic American food brand and has been recognized as the fastest growing spice company in America in the Inc. 5000. Congratulations to Spiceology for being the company most likely to make 100 million in revenue in the next 5 years. Our community wishes you continued fast-moving success.
The origin of Spiceology. So, company was founded by Pete Taylor and Heather Schulten back in 2013, and they saw an opportunity in the market in the seasonings and the blends. So, Spiceology, we're all about spices. We have two main buyers. We have consumers and we have chefs, and they buy from us for different reasons. Consumers buy from us because we're innovative and we've just got fun, delicious flavors that make them look like great cooks. Chefs buy from us because of the quality and selection. Our objective is to get the best product in front of them. We think that the spice market is ripe for disruption, and we think we've got the brand, we've got the team, we've got the strategy, and we're going for it. How do we innovate? We start with this, with a bowl. We don't have food scientists here. We don't hire people with chemistry degrees. We don't use artificial intelligence to figure out flavor profiles. We're chef owned and chef operated. And we've got people that have great palates and they create amazing things. This is a fun company. It's a fun market. We don't think of this as work. We show up every day and we're like excited to be here. We're doing something radically different and it's working.
Well, thank you, Richard. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Tyler. This is an honor. I very, very much appreciate the recognition. Also note a little bit of pressure there in setting that target 100 million. But it's a number that we talk about. It's something that we believe we've got an opportunity to achieve in the next 5 years. Won't come easy, but this is a big market. And it's the leaders in this market are tired and they're ripe for disruption. And we think we've got the formula to make it happen. I just want to say we always talk about what a great place Spokane is to start a company. And as Tyler pointed out, Pete Taylor pitched at the very first startup weekend. He won the first startup weekend. He then had the charm to get Heather Schulten to jump on board with him, and they founded this company 8 years ago. As also was highlighted, we have for the last 2 years been the fastest growing private spice company in America, and we do intend to be the next great iconic American food brand. It's a big, hairy, audacious goal, but it's one that we've got our sights on, and we hope to make that happen and bring that back to Spokane. So thank you.
A very big congratulations to Spiceology. You have such a fantastic product. It's time now to participate again with another quiz. So get your clicking ready. We're going to go ahead and come up with the next question, which is, since its inception, how much money has the Spokane Angel Alliance invested in regional startups? So you have 3 choices there to choose from. And the question again is, how much money has the Spokane Angel Alliance invested since its inception? The Spokane Angel Alliance is a group of investors who help companies evolve from beginning startups into emerging companies like those that we're celebrating today at the 25+5. And let's go ahead and close that poll now. And the answer is more than $61 million has been invested in regional startups from the Spokane Angel Alliance. I'm very happy now to introduce Mark Gustafson. He is the Director of Innovation and Strategy for Avista, as well as the manager of the Mind to Market Pre-Seed Community Fund. And Mark is here to go ahead and introduce the award for Coolest Company Culture. Go ahead, Mark.
Well, thank you, Cindy. And thank you to the Spokane Journal of Business for inviting me to present. What an exciting day for our region, and it's an honor for me to be here for sure. Company culture is the foundation of every organization and certainly core to what makes Avista put our customers and our communities first. Core values are even more important for startup success, of course. Matching those values and goals of an emerging company with a talented team is the hardest thing to do as a startup. Execution on the vision is impossible without that positive culture. I am proud to say I just described what the winner of this year's 25+5 Coolest Company Culture has accomplished. Safeguard equipment. After meeting at the University of Idaho, Safeguard's 3 founders, Tim Ledford, John Thompson, Brandon Bledsoe, they started with an idea for the Northwest Entrepreneur Competition, and they won it. After presenting to the Spokane Angel Alliance, Kickstart, Coles Ventures, and us at Avista, the team raised their pre-seed fund quickly at $300,000. They went on to raise another $1 million in a seed round, and they've used those funds to grow exponentially. Safeguard's mission is to save lives, give back, and innovate. Most importantly, Safeguard has a culture that's about working hard and playing hard. For example, they offer unlimited vacation, they have mountain bikes at the office, and they offer employees Schweitzer passes. Congratulations to the entire Safeguard equipment team. Way to go, guys.
Safeguard was founded back in 2016 by its 3 founders, myself, Brandon, and John. We had family members that were electrical workers, and growing up, we always heard stories of the dangers on the job. So we wanted to put our minds together and come up with a solution to keep them safe and come home. We are the only company in the world that has figured out how to use current to detect electric fields as well as voltage. Safeguard's in the business of safety, keeping people safe on the work site, and increasing efficiencies. Safeguard is all about work-life balance. It's why we offer unlimited vacation to our employees, why we give corporate passes to Schweitzer, why we buy mountain bikes for the office. And the reason we chose Spokane is simply because of that. There's nowhere else that I've found in the Northwest where you can find a mountain 10 miles away, or a ski mountain 30 miles away, or a river 20 miles away. And literally from the time you get off work, an hour later, you can be in the river with a fish on your pole. And that's why we chose to live here and do business here.
Well, thank you so much. I'm here today with the founders, Brandon, John, and then some of the team here. We really are honored and grateful to receive this award. As Mark said, our company mission is to save lives, it's to give back, and it's to continually innovate. And I'm really proud today to announce that through the efforts that everyone at this company has given forward, we've saved 32 lives. 32 lives that I mean, resonates with everyone here, and what gives us so much passion to come to work every day and work extremely hard, but also play very hard. One of our top values is to have a team above self. And what that drives from is to be servant leaders and always try to put other people's needs above our own. And because of this, with an amazing team, an incredible technology, and really just a great future, we're going to change the world. We're in every utility in the nation, and we're in dozens of countries now. So just watch for Safeguard in the next coming years. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Tim, and the entire Safeguard team. You know, seeing you win the award is kind of a special moment for me because We first met a handful of years ago when you won the competition, the business plan competition, and we put together your first round of financing. So just really fantastic to see the progress that you've made. But also like to congratulate the Continuous Composites and SPICEOLOgy. And I hope today's event and ceremony has really fulfilled the goal of building awareness for the wide variety and tremendous companies that we have here in our region, and also the attributes of this region that make it a great place to grow a company, to start a company, and to succeed. As we conclude tonight, please don't sign off immediately, because we're going to be scrolling through the names and logos of all the winners, and everyone today is being honored. And for me, it's been great to see kind of this idea that I came up with a couple of years ago turn into a formal program and event. I'm sorry we can't all be here together, but hopefully next year the pandemic will be behind us, and we can make this an in-person event where we can not only honor everybody, but to have time to get to know each other better and network and all those sort of things. So lastly, I'm just going to conclude with, on behalf of Ignite and the Journal of Business, thank you, everyone. Thanks to the honorees, the winners, the presenters, thanks to Tyler, and thanks to the over 300 people who also participated today. And if anybody missed it, we will be replaying it. So with that, we're adjourned. Thank you.